No.
No.
Interview with Tracy first. Let Tracy go. Start the show.
We're live.
Perfect.
Off we go.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Okay, so for our viewers on YouTube Live right now, we're actually going to head straight into the main topic. So it's a little bit out of order compared to what we normally do. We're going to do our main topic first, and then we're going to get on to the rest of the show afterwards.
But through the magic of live editing, it'll seem appropriate and correct.
Live editing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Look, the whole thing is a window into the shenanigans of producing a podcast.
Exactly.
Correct.
Yep.
I'm impressed that I pulled shenanigans out of my mouth instead of the word I was thinking.
Yeah, and I heard the word you were thinking. You said shenanigans. I heard the other one that ends in "ry."
Yeah, yes, that's the one. Yes.
Amazing. Sharing a brain.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if we've got a whole one between us.
Okay. Sharing lobes?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. All right.
All right.
We should interview
brain
Tracy.
stems.
So just a quick question before we actually do go live. Hi, everybody.
We are live.
We're live.
See the little word live in the corner?
Yeah. Anyways.
Oh, sorry. That's pronounced live. Sorry, we're live. Go ahead, Kelly.
I just wanted to know if Tracy, we're doing the interview with you first, and then Jeff, we're going to be doing it a little bit later with you. That's correct, right, Trevor? That's the way we're doing it? Or are we
We're not doing them simultaneously.
Nope. Okay.
Because that would be awkward.
Mm-hmm.
No, Jeff and I are good friends. That'd be fun.
All right. I'm just kidding.
Who's our host? Kelly?
I am the lead host, and I'm just switching over to the Facebook or the YouTube as well.
I've got it on the side here. I'll watch it.
Okay, perfect. So we would like to. You ready to go?
Yeah, why not?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Get it.
So we'd like to say thank you to Tracy Wilson for coming on and talking to us about the CCFR. Tracy, why don't you introduce? I know a lot of people have heard all about you and the CCFR, but why don't you introduce yourself and your position with the CCFR, as well as about what we're going to be talking tonight about? It's the insurance program and the legal advice that the CCFR offers.
Awesome. Okay, that's great. Thanks, Cal. So I'm Tracy Wilson, and I am the VP of Public Relations for the CCFR, which is it's sort of a made-up title because it's a catch-all. I am a registered lobbyist, and I'm the only in-house registered lobbyist for gun rights in Canada.
Oh, not true. Not true.
Why? Who else do we have?
Tell her, Kelly.
Well, he's actually not in-house. He's a paid lobbyist.
So you correct me, but you back her up. I see how this is. Girl power. Yeah, you go. All right. Sorry, Tracy. Carry on.
No, there are other lobbyists, and hopefully, actually, we're going to maybe gain another one here soon too.
Yeah, that's hopeful.
But I do spend a lot of time working on our social media, and we've got a huge Facebook group. It's super active. It's probably the biggest, most active group on Facebook, really. So if you're not in there, get in there as quickly as possible and get in on the action. But we've noticed that there's an awful lot of posts that come up, hey, is this legal? Or, hey, can I do this? And, it's a great way for gunnies to, converse back and forth and stuff like that. You learn a lot of things. The only problem is when we're talking about legal matters, these are things that can, if the advice you receive off the internet is wrong, you can get yourself in a lot of trouble and expose yourself to some problems, right? So part of this social media, monster that we're operating here is dealing with a lot of these posts. They're well-meaning. We've got a lot of new shooters, which is awesome. So there's a lot of inexperienced people with great questions. And I enjoy seeing, it go back and forth and people digging up links and information and, citing regulations and stuff like that. And then usually I let that go for a few minutes and then I plunk our insurance link in there. So, we worked really hard to negotiate a really comprehensive full package for our members. We thought it would be really important to have something tangible that gun owners can use, right? And so far it's been really successful.
Okay, so can you describe the different packages or the
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So with your CCFR membership, you know, an individual membership is $40, student, I think 20, and family 60. You know, there's a couple different price ranges in there, but that automatically comes with $5 million of liability insurance. So that's the insurance that a range or that kind of outfit would require you to have in order to shoot there. So it automatically comes with that. No need for anything extra. You don't have to sign up for it. It's just an inclusion in your membership. And that protects you while you participate in all legal shooting activities. So, you know, stuff at the range, hunting, it even covers fishing. And basically what it is it's a protection against lawsuits brought against you in the event that you injure someone or you damage their property, right? So, you know, you're at the range or, you know, even at your buddy's camp or something, and you inadvertently have an accident and you damage something and he sues you, you're covered for up to $5 million. So, you know, that's pretty valuable. I think about my car insurance and down in my little SUV, I pay $110 a month for insurance, and the car's worth what, 30 grand? So for $5 million of insurance, you pay $40 for a membership and it's included. And that's once a year and it covers you the whole year. So
you know why our premiums are lower for firearms owners than for cars?
The safest sector in the country. That's right.
That's right.
That's exactly right. And you got a point there, Trev, is the insurance itself is proof positive that it is a safe sport, right? So yeah, so basically the insurance that comes automatic with your membership is liability. And then when we first started working with Lucas, who's our insurance guy, and you know, if anyone has any like really detailed questions or anything I don't cover today, you can send an email to insurance@firearmrights.ca and you'll get Lucas. He knows it inside and out. But when we were discussing what we were looking at the very beginning of the CCFR, we wanted to kind of have two different services. We wanted a legal advice. You know, we kept thinking, wouldn't it be cool if you could just call up a number, like a hotline, and speak to an actual lawyer rather than relying solely on internet advice, which, you know, a lot of times there's good answers or correct answers, but for the majority, they're not. So unfortunately.
Well, that's why we have the byline when we start the podcast that what you hear, you know, it's just go do it at a friend's house. Yeah.
Exactly. So
Tracy, before we get too far, after you talk about the difference between the legal advice and the legal defense, can you make sure to explain to the listeners how they go about accessing those services once they purchase them?
Yeah, we're going to go through that today because a lot of times I do find people sending me their legal questions, thinking that I am the legal advice hotline. For the record, I am not the legal advice. But yeah, I'm going to tell you how much it costs, what's included, and then how you go about accessing it. So legal advice, like think about this. Think about what it's worth to be able to just pick up the phone whenever you want all year long. If you want to call every day, call every day. So I know I've spent a little bit of money on lawyers in my lifetime, whether it's through, you know, business or personal things like that. And I've never spent this. It's $16. Can you believe that? And no, not a day, not a month, for a year. $16. So that gives you unlimited access to a lawyer in your area specializing in firearms law. Right. So, you know, and we've used it a lot. The first year we had it going, people weren't really using it. And you know, they are still posting in the group. And I'm like, come on, guys, call the number. So if you're looking to get that, you can add that to your membership anytime. If you're already a CCFR member, you can go to the insurance tab on the website. If you hover over the word insurance, 3 little things pop up: individual insurance, club insurance, and legal insurance. Right. Go all the way down to legal insurance. You can buy it as a standalone product there.
Tracy, if somebody actually just buys the regular membership and then all of a sudden they find that they need the legal advice, they can buy it at any time. Can it be retroactive?
They can buy it at any time, and then they can literally, you can go and buy it online with your credit card, and then you're done the transaction, pick up the phone and call the hotline.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's instant. And here's the thing. So if you want to access it and say, okay, you know, now I've got this, I'm a member, I've got this insurance, and I've got a question. I want to know, maybe you've got a storage question or whatever.
Yep.
If you go to the insurance tab on the website, it's all there. But there's a 1-800 number. And this is a great service because it's open from 7 a.m. until midnight. So you're not confined to 9 to 5 like some of the other, there's a 1-800 number. So when you call the DAS, the person at DAS who answers the phone is going to ask you a couple questions. They're going to ask you a policy number. So it's right there on the website. We all are under the same policy. So it's HL 2023314. And then they're going to ask you your CCFR membership number, which is on your card. If you're a brand new member and you haven't got your card yet, you don't have to wait for it. Send an email over to info@firearmrights.ca and I'll be happy to look up your membership number. I do it all the time for people. It only takes a second, so you're not bugging me. And that way you can go ahead, join, and instantly access the service. That is your membership number and the policy number.
Okay, so they can access the 1-800 number, the policy number on the website, but
right.
on their card it should have their membership number.
I don't know if you can see my screen, but I've got it open right here to the insurance tab on the website. And it's got all the information right there. And that way,
it'd be cool, Tracy, is if we started to print our cards with that number and information right on the back of the card, and you don't have to go to the website. You just flip your card over. You got your membership number on one side, how to access your advice and your legal defense on the other side. One-stop shopping.
Yeah, you're totally right. I'm going to talk to the guys about that. And it wouldn't be very difficult because I know Lucas had designed a little wallet card. So maybe what I'll do is I'm going to post that as a file in the Facebook groups for all the kids at home. And, they can use that for now. But you're right. I think that would be pretty valuable to have on the back of your card.
Right.
But yeah, everything's right there. So just to go back over that, it's $16 a year and it's unlimited. Call every single day. Sometimes, if you're not confident in the answer you've received, I saw a post the other day and the guy wasn't 100% confident. Call back and say, okay, I've already called about this. I'm not 100% confident in the answer. I want a second opinion. No problem, sir. You're going to get a different lawyer calling you and you can ask the same questions. So, you can really explore that. And I really encourage people to use the service. That's what it's for.
Okay, so there's no limit of how many times you can call or how much. So what if somebody actually does get charged? Is there a lawyer that represents them, or is it just?
That's the next. I'm glad that you asked me that because that's the next level of insurance, and that's the legal defense insurance.
Good.
It's a little more expensive. It's $92 for a year, but if you think about it, we read these stories online or hear them through the grapevine of people who have been charged with something, and a lot of times it's just an inadvertent thing. They didn't, maybe didn't mean to. You get pulled over for something. And next thing you know, you're facing a $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 legal bill, maybe more. Right.
Right.
And, it can really hurt someone. I know I'm not a rich lady. I know a $10,000 legal bill would pretty much crush me right now. So for me, it's $92 a year, but I do the math.
I got it.
And space it over a year. And it's nuts not to have it.
That's right. No, you can't. I take it. I take the whole package when I renew. You can't get that much coverage for that little bit of money anywhere else. And given that some of us are in, so to speak, high profile positions in the gun community, we may become the subject of a malicious prosecution. We there may be pressure to try and make an example of us because we're activists, because we podcast, because we train, because some of us are instructors, so we should have known better. I can't go out there and teach classes and teach black badges and do podcasts and leave myself open to that kind of risk. It's just not worth it, not when this product is that affordable.
Right.
Absolutely. And, our legal defense is also available 24/7 in case of emergencies. So, something happens and you're driving home late from the cottage at 2 a.m. or something, and, something awful happens. You're not sitting there waiting for 9 a.m. for something to open, right? It's 24/7. There's no deductible. There's a limit of $150,000. So what it covers is it will cover the cost to defend yourself against charges regarding the use, storage, display, transportation, or handling of a firearm. The other cool thing that's also covered is, let's say you decide to go renew your license. You know, your license is up every 5 years, and you go to renew it, and they don't renew it, or they suspend your license, or they revoke your license. You know, these things have happened, and if you want to appeal that decision, you're going to spend a lot of money on a lawyer. Well, not if you've got the legal defense, because they will also fight that battle for you. So it's not just for charges. It can also be used just to, you know, to ensure that you can maintain your right to get a license. You know, I've had a couple people send in emails with these horror stories of things that have happened to them. And, you know, I've had my license for 15 years. I've got no problems. I don't know why they won't renew it. You know, they've had it, you know, it's been months. Now it's been suspended, you know, blah, blah, blah. And they don't know what to do. And to even begin to fight that on your own, like, you better have some money in the bank, right? And none of us want to be in that position. And, you know, but sometimes the system fails. So, you know, you got to take responsibility for that and make sure that you can do everything possible to protect you and even protect your family and your assets, right? I don't have to sell my car to pay a legal bill. So, you know, yeah. So $92 a year realistically is pretty small. Now, here's another fun fact about the insurance. So that legal advice for $16 for calling, you don't have to use it only for firearms law. If you're going through a divorce, if you have some questions about business law, commercial law, any kind of law, it doesn't have to be a firearms question. You can call, yeah, you can call with any legal question. So a lot of people don't know that. So if you're wondering, you know, is it legal to do this to my car in Ontario? Call them. They're going to tell you. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. A lot of people don't know that. And of course, I mean, we're firearms people, so we worry more about firearms questions, but it can be a pretty valuable resource to somebody who's going through something that they may need a little bit of legal advice along the way.
Okay. Yeah. What about somebody that maybe self-defense? Is that lawyer going to be with them to cover any charges for self-defense?
Like with a firearm? Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. So it is legal to defend your life in Canada, regardless of what some of the internet people think. But of course, it's always extenuating circumstances, right? Because we don't carry here. But yeah, under the right circumstances and understanding use of force and the criminal code, you know.
That's probably a good idea to use that first, or understand that first.
Yeah, for sure. I know I took my use of force course, and you know, I've been owning guns for over 20 years, and I thought I knew, and I thought I knew what you should do, and you know, when your life is literally in imminent danger and when it's not. And I actually didn't. So I learned a lot from it. Yeah, I would recommend anybody who would even consider defending their lives with a firearm to have a full understanding of the law and, you know, take the use of force course.
Yeah. And in Canada, that's Dave Young from CAPS.
Yeah. He's the original. He's the king, right? So
yeah, he's what I refer to as Canada's Massad Ayoob. So if you know who Massad Ayoob is, he's our version. So yeah, you understand what that means and how competent and qualified he is.
Yeah, and he's got you know, he's got the CAPS simulator, which he designed it, he invented it, and it's, you know, I spent I don't know, 7 hours being run through scenarios on it. And it was actually mentally exhausting. He's done an amazing job. It felt so realistic. Yeah, I would really recommend it to people, but it really, it's a mind game with you, right? But you know, these are things that happen every day in Canada. So I would highly recommend that. So little shameless plug for Dave Young at CAPS right there.
There you go. All right. Tracy?
Yeah.
Anything exciting happening right now with the CCFR? Anything that you want to tell us about? We're going to be at the Toronto Sportsman's Show, different things like that.
I heard a little rumor that there might be some gunny calendar girls at the
Well,
top.
we're hoping. Yeah.
Yeah. So that will be fantastic. I'm just working out some details on something I'm working on with Rod to see to work on some stuff. He's coming down in March for a lobby week. So we're going to be getting our heads together and go down to we're going to storm the hill more or less. But yeah, while he's all the way over here in Ontario, we're going to try and find some ways to, drag him around and provide him with zero sleep and make him work his butt off. So the other cool thing that's going on is I'm actually attending an event this weekend at the Manning Center.
Okay. What's that about?
So, every chance I get to spend some time with some, politically influential people, I think it's important, right? And it's really cool event actually that I'm going to. I've got notes about it somewhere. But basically it's a policy conversation. So it's going to cover a lot more than just firearms. They're going to be talking about NAFTA. They're going to be talking about immigration. They're going to be talking about finance, all kinds of areas that the government works in, national defense, things like that. So it's pretty, it's a fair bet that some of our topic will come up, and I want to make sure we've got representation there. It's also a really good time. Andrew Scheer will be there, Maxime Bernier. This one's a little more of a Tory event. It's a little bit partisan, but these are people that are influential. And in Ontario right now, they do have a provincial leadership race, and all the candidates will be there. So I know there's some interesting, firearms are federal, but there's always some things surrounding CFOs and things like that are provincial. And there's some opportunity for change in Ontario as far as CFO appointments and access to courses, access to certification. So I'm going to go down there and pitch some ideas to these candidates and see if I can make things a little better in Ontario. But, a little bit of handshaking and worming my way around the room, but, I'm good at that stuff. So I'm doing that. Wild TV, that's coming up soon.
Yep, I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah.
Sorry, when is it starting?
April. We're going to start filming. And that's going to go all the way through. It'll start showing, the season starts in October or September on the air. Okay. So watch for a web post on that. I will post ways you can watch because, a lot of people are saying I don't have cable or I don't subscribe to that channel. Neither do I, but they have an app. So I'll be posting information on how everyone can watch. And even before the show actually starts, we also have a preliminary package with Wild TV for some advertising and a chance to get something about firearm rights over onto like commercial spots on Wild TV. So that will be starting like very soon. So that's pretty exciting. I just wanted to say too, guys, I know I do get some people, we'll go back to insurance for a minute. I've got some people that have contacted me, I never received a policy in the mail for the insurance. Well, but there's a good reason for that. So we don't print and send paper copies of the policy to everyone. What we do is we actually host it online. So, the CCFR is a pretty progressive, innovative group. We use technology all the time. We live stream our AGMs. We do a lot of things that, aren't necessarily old school. Printing paper is extremely costly and extremely wasteful. The other thing is we're always renegotiating, the packages, trying to get more included, trying to either knock down rates or get more, more in those packages for people. So you can actually read the policy, and there's a great flyer there on the insurance tab on the website. And you can refer to that. You could print it if you wanted a printed copy of the policy. But this way, I just had it changed 2 days ago because, we did have a couple of positive changes in there, improvements to the policy. So, imagine if you were mailing out paper copies, every time you get to negotiate a positive change, now you've got to print thousands and thousands of papers and mail them all over Canada, eating up member dollars and taking away from projects. So, you know, that's kind of how I look at it. Plus, it's a lot greener to not be printing a whole ton of paper when literally it's at your fingertips. If there's anybody out there who's not online, you know, or doesn't even have a printer or something like that, if you do want a paper copy, you know, I'll send you one. But generally we don't. And that's the reason, is we like to update it. And this way it's always in real time.
Yeah, it'd be one thing if it was on the provider and they were sending it out, it was on their dollar.
Right.
But if you want your dues to go up, we can spend, you know, $15,000 to $20,000 on paper every year.
Well, and that's the thing, right? We wouldn't be able to offer you stuff like unlimited lawyer talk for $16 a year, or, you know, saving you tens of thousands of dollars in legal fees with the legal defense if we had to print, you know, thousands and thousands of pages. So, you know, it keeps costs down. It's a lot greener option. And like I said, that way we can update any positive changes and improvements to the policy in real time. So yeah, I just think it's, you know, we're just trying to be a little technologically advanced here. So yeah. And with the legal defense, if you don't have a lawyer, they will find a lawyer in your area that will come and defend you. If you've got a lawyer, I know I've had a few people in Edmonton say, hey, I want to use Ian Runkle. Is he one of your legal defense lawyers? Here's how it works. You go ahead and use Ian Runkle, and he can send the invoice into DAS and they'll pay him. So yeah, you do have the option of, if you've sourced your own guy and you want to use them, that's fine. And if not, they will send you somebody. So, you know, you have nothing to worry about. You're going to be protected either way.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really comprehensive that way. It's great. Anybody else have any questions for me?
Do you guys have like a new CEO or something?
Yeah. So apparently Rod works here now. I haven't seen him in the lunchroom. Yeah.
Awkward.
Yeah. The lunchroom is down the hallway to the right. Just kidding. This is my house. So no. Yeah, actually we've, yeah, the board of directors made some decisions. You know, it's really the amount of work and the amount of projects that we've been able to put out in the last 2 years that we've been alive is pretty incredible, and it's just not sustainable on a volunteer basis, right? You know, he's putting upwards of 2,000 hours a year into these projects. And it's not going to slow down, because he's going to be like micromanaging this show. And there's a lot of other stuff coming down the pipe. And it, you know, requires a very specific skill set. Definitely not anything I would know anything about. You know,
well,
Rod's.
I mean, Tracy, one of the comments that we're getting is, well, CCFR said when they started that they were always that they were a volunteer based, and we were then.
We are now. We have 2 staff,
yeah,
and you know, we've got hundreds of volunteers. So yeah, it's absolutely still volunteer based, right?
The point I want to make is that Rod was doing more before he became a paid employee than the other orgs that have multiple paid employees and have had paid employees for decades.
Oh yeah, and yeah, well, that's the thing, and I mean, you know, I think all of us involved in the CCFR, we've got, you know, this emotional attachment to it, and that's what makes us so different, right? And we are able to produce the amount of stuff and the quality of stuff that we're putting out there for people. But unfortunately, there's all these things happen in our life, like car payments and mortgages and, you know, kids that cost us a fortune and things like that, right?
Well, that's your problem, you know, as someone who lives in a dink relationship, dual income, no kids. I have no sympathy for you. So, but I will say this, taking on paid employees is part of the natural progress and evolution of the organization. There comes a point in time where if you want to maintain the rate of growth that you're maintaining, something's got to give, and people got to get paid if they wants to eat. So,
Yeah, and like I look at this as a really positive thing. Like I remember 3 years ago sitting on a,
Me too. Now he works for us. I mean, he's basically
yeah,
ours now to
yeah. So we
boss
own.
around and hold accountable. It's wonderful.
That's right. We own Rod Giltaca.
Right. Before he had a say, now he's paid to do what he's told.
That's exactly right. So let's all be thankful today.
Careful. There's a guy named Justin in Ottawa that technically works for us too.
Yeah, and look how well that went.
Right. He's proving to be problematic.
You're right, but he, unlike Rod, he did not have a proven track record before we hired him.
Correct.
Yes, I would say that. Yeah, the interview process wasn't fully followed. Anyway,
he's trying his best for people kind, right? So.
Oh boy, so good. Oh boy, oh girl, oh girl, so good. Sorry.
Yeah, no. Here's the thing. I don't.
And she's frozen.
Am I still here?
Yes. Try sitting still for a while. Your camera can't keep up with your ADHD.
God, I know I'm terrible for it, right? It's because I don't usually just sit in one spot. I'm so hyper.
You must have been a treat in class as a child.
No, I was not. I was a nightmare.
The hallway wasn't big enough for you.
Yeah. I think here's how I look at it. I remember 3 years ago sitting on a buddy's, floor of a spare bedroom and saying, man, the advocacy has just got a huge void in it in this country. And, things aren't getting done and there's no action, nothing's happening. And we threw around on the, floor of this bedroom.
Yeah, you got drunk and you woke up with the CCFR is what you did. Don't try and fool anybody.
You're totally right. But yeah, and to think like 2.5 years later or almost 3 years later, here we are growing. I think it's amazing, and I think it's a testament to our membership, to the level of trust and the credibility that we've built with Canadian gun owners. And I think they're really happy to finally have somebody out there that's kicking butt every single day for them, turning out products for them to help in the conversation. The explainer videos have been such a huge tool for gun owners. None of this happened before. You basically had some talking head that apparently went to Ottawa once in a while, and you'd get some sort of newsletter about it, and hopefully they're doing good stuff for you. You had no idea what was going on. So at the CCFR, we've got a different view on that, right? And it's super inclusive and get everybody participating and get everyone excited about our sport again, right? So it's an exciting time. Heck, we've got other orgs that have, buildings and overhead and huge staffs, and I haven't heard from them in years. I don't even know what's going on. So, we're accomplishing a whole lot on a really tight budget. We're still by far the most fiscally responsible with membership dollars. It's just amazing the amount of stuff that we can get done. And yeah, down the road, I have all these crazy visions 10 years down the road, having a whole office building and full of staff, and we've taken over the world, so yeah, I think it's fantastic. You've got to take that leap of faith and go out there and just build something amazing that people can really believe in. And I think that's exactly what we've done. So,
well, if you ever get the office and you need someone to post memes to the Facebook page, I'm in.
Yeah, we need some of the best.
I learned a long time ago, Tracy, from one of my mentors, the second you stop moving forward, you start going backwards.
That's 100% true. Yeah.
And so Rod coming on as a paid CEO was a major step in moving forward. And now that he's no longer the president and he's a paid employee, he can focus even more time to these massive projects and let other people do the day-to-day running sort of stuff. So it's absolutely an excellent move to help keep launching us forward.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think it's needed. I almost think it's, it's late. I think we could have done this before. But I know the amount of work that guy puts into the programs. Like, you guys are going to love this TV show, Black Guns and Handguns, on national TV in Canada. Think about
First time ever. Never been done before.
Never been done. So
And just one other thing that we should mention, this decision didn't happen overnight, right? There was a lot of consultation. There was multiple drafts of a contract. There was reviews done by the board of directors. There was a couple of meetings, discussion, and then a vote. This didn't happen in a bubble behind closed doors. I mean, the decision was made by the people elected to run the CCFR for the members.
Yeah.
And it's not a decision that was taken lightly.
No, and there was even, looking at, okay, what other options are there? Okay, what if we scale back some of our stuff? What if we hire somebody, off the street, leave Rod in his position as president and a director? What if we just go hire somebody off the street to do that kind of stuff? Yeah. Well, they don't have the intimate knowledge and they don't have, the intimacy that he's got with the CCFR because he loves it, right? Yep. Like we all love it. So, and there just wasn't really any other viable options. And to be honest, even, we're not going to discuss pay rates or anything like that, but trust me, he's worth a heck of a lot more than what we got him for. So we did well. Hired anybody off the street for this. So
I wanted to speak to that too. For those wondering how we're supposed to be able to afford this, well, we're not in the financial crunch we were back in between July and August. Things are better financially, but there's an aspect of Rod's job where basically he gets it to pay for itself, right? Part of his job is raising enough money to make sure that his job doesn't cost us money.
Absolutely. And he's got some KPIs in there. He's got some key performance indicators. So, he's set himself goals for each month as far, money wise, membership wise, things like that. Rod will pay for himself and Rod will raise more money for the CCFR than we would have had if we didn't hire him. Yep. So,
and if he doesn't, we can fire him in 30 days.
Yeah, well, that's it. We have an out.
I'm sorry, Adriel, but it's true. I mean,
you guys should have made the probation period 90 days. Come on, 30 days, you softies.
To be fair, I think it's 60, but yeah.
You got to give yourself options.
No, we slipped that part through in the contract.
Right now, working on CCFRs. Just kidding. But no, he's not going anywhere, and he's going to do an awesome job like he always does. The quality material that he's put out there, we've all seen it, right? It's great. He's working on a new studio in his home. He's, it's absolutely beautiful. And I'm really excited to see what this guy can do. And I'm really interested to get him down here to Ottawa a little bit this year and get some help with these guys in Ottawa. So it's literally the most exciting thing that's happened since April, which is when I started.
So, Tracy, we're running out of time, but I would be remiss if I didn't ask you to talk about the other changes in position, who moved around to fill in those slots. So you want to talk about those two gentlemen?
Yeah, sure. We'll go over that real quick. So Rod leaving the board of directors, he did resign as a director because, I think it's a big conflict of interest, and pretty sure it goes against our bylaws to pay a director. And I think just it's a little bit sticky. I don't like that. So no, it's not up to me, but the board as well. So he resigned as a director and as president. So we needed somebody to put into that spot. And that spot is basically a liaison between the board of directors and Rod and also I, right? Like that they're the voice.
For our new president.
Right. The president is like the voice of the board. So Jamie Elliott actually moved into that position as interim president. So he'll hang on to that until the AGM in June, where the elections will be taking place. We're going to have the online voting. I believe Jamie's seat is up for re-election. So he may have some competition. We'll see how that goes. That'll be exciting. But until June, Jamie's going to captain the ship with the support of the board. Nobody can do anything alone, and it would be impossible to. We're a great team together, and so he moved into that. Now that also means, he doesn't exactly have the time for some of the stuff he was working on before, which is he was a vice president of the field officer program, which has grown into a monster of its own, right?
What do we have, over 200 field officers?
Over 200 field officers, and these aren't just guys who just carry a title. These guys are running shows and they're going to businesses and they're out there recruiting members. Like, we have the most amazing field officer team ever. So what happens is when you grow that big, you've got to keep them organized. And the king of organization is Nathan Picklick. He's a BC director. He just does an amazing job. He is the smart sheet king. He's got the whole team flowing a lot better, the recruitment process a little smoother. So he moved over into the VP of Field Officer program. So he's wearing, you know, 2 hats. He's a director and also heading up the program for field officers. So anyone out there who might be interested in helping out can send an email to volunteer@firearmrights.ca. And yeah, we'll let you know what's involved. And we're always looking for a few good men and women.
People kind. We need to draw in from the people kind.
Oh God, it's humankind. Just speak English. But yeah.
New speak.
Double speak.
Double speak. That's it. I screwed up a 1984 reference. My bad.
Yeah.
No one actually believes that I read it, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Cole's notes.
Little bit of shifting at the CCFR, but basically, we're all still here. We just, you know, traded hats and tried on a few new ones. So yeah, business as usual. Look forward to some really awesome stuff coming forward. Don't worry, you're not going to get less rod. You'll get more rods. So it's a good thing.
Okay. So do you want to tell everybody where they can either go and purchase that insurance, or if they do have questions for you, how they contact you? Or
yeah, absolutely. So you can get the insurance at the same time that you get your membership. If you're not a member already, it will prompt. It'll show you, you know, give you those options, and you can just select them. If you're already a member and you're thinking, oh man, I wish I would have got the insurance, go to the website, hover over the insurance tab, and 3 little things pop up, 3 choices. The bottom one says legal insurance. That's the one you want to use it as a standalone product. If you can't find it, send me an email at info@firearmrights.ca. I will help you out. And if you've got any questions about the insurance program itself, reach out to Lucas Kuziak at insurance@firearmrights.ca.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you.
I didn't talk your ear off. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks.
Okay, we'll see you later.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. So let's go and start the show.
Question.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are we going to skip what we did this week in guns because we got another guest?
I don't have too much. Do you guys have a lot? We could just go faster on it.
All right, I'll motor through. No, really, I will. I swear.
Okay.
Yeah. Jeff.
Don't swear.
Yes.
So I populated what we did in guns with the CZ455. Or do you want to actually tell us about something new, exciting that you guys have there at the center?
The 455, actually. I really like it.
Okay. So we'll start the show.
Okay.
Is everybody ready? Does anybody need to go and have a pee break? Say hi to everybody out in the real live world.
Yeah, we're live, so I think we can skip a break.
I better not go say hi to anybody that I might not come back. Yeah.
All right. Hello and welcome to episode 243 for Slamfire Radio for February 9th, 2018. I'm one of your hosts, Kelly Lynn.
I'm another one of your hosts, Brian.
Are you sure?
You had to think about it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking at the notes. I might be Matthew. I'm not sure. I get
in the
confused.
host rotation. It says Brian with a Y. It doesn't say Matthew.
No, but
all right.
I'm Trevor. I'm looking elsewhere. Yeah,
I'm Trevor, and I'm crankier than normal.
Oh God.
That sounds normal to me, and I'm Adriel.
Cranky, which means I'm happy, because I'm only happy when I'm pissed off.
Oh, okay.
That's how it works.
Yeah, that's actually true. All right. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to have a couple of guests on this evening, and one of them is a very special guest. Well, actually, both of them are very special guests.
Yeah, but one's Serpa special.
And the other one's Jeff. Yeah.
Okay.
We hang up on Brian? Where's the button?
I did that once
today.
today.
This is so much like a Slamfire Radio episode already. Anyways, yes, we do have Jeff Reese on from the Calgary Shooting Center. And if you did not know, the Calgary Shooting Center is the premier firearm retailer in Canada, and they sponsor our What We Did in Guns episode, or portion of the episode. Tonight we're going to feature the CZ455 stainless and walnut shooters package for $689, and it comes with free swivels as well. Right, Jeff?
It does. I don't know why it didn't come with them the first time, but we're throwing them in.
It's beautiful. I had to look at it. I even clicked on the site. It was awesome. All right. So apparently we're going to do it quite fast. So Brian, what we did in guns.
Let's see. I got to the range with the pistols on the weekend because I haven't done that since back before Christmas again when we were talking about my issues. Things went a little better than they had last time, which that's good. I reminded myself that I actually do have to grip the gun with a whole lot of force. That works best. I have become convinced that the P320 slide release is in completely the wrong place. My thumb sits on it all the time. I've really got to adjust my grip to get that straightened out, but I'll get there. The other really interesting thing to me anyway,
yeah, that is very interesting.
Okay. Hi,
Brian. Yeah, amazing. I hadn't heard that before.
He's been fading in and out. I think he's...
Yeah, and his connection sucks too.
Yep. All right, why don't we go on to Trevor? What did you do in guns? And hopefully Brian will come back at some point.
Some new guns this week. Ruger Super Single 6 is a single shot or single action 22 revolver that a buddy of mine had me buy as part of a package from an estate sale. He didn't have a restricted license, so I bought the gun, put the gun in my name. He paid for it, and the gun is here, and I'll either buy it myself or sell it for him. It's kind of an interesting gun. I was looking up the Blue Book value, and in blued version with a 4 5/8 inch barrel, it's potentially very rare and in excellent condition, worth up to $1,000. There are two particular generations that have specific markings. One is an arrow, and the other one, and I may get this wrong, is a cross. I don't have the Blue Book in front of me. So anyway, I haven't torn the gun apart yet to look for those markings to see which one it is, so I can determine the value. But what he failed to tell me was that the gun is covered in surface rust. Not covered in surface rust. Yeah, but there's definitely surface rust. So at best, I would say the gun is about a 60%, because that surface rust is just, some of it will have caused minor pitting. I think if I was going to buy the gun, I wouldn't do a full restoration. I would take some oil and some 000 steel wool and remove it and call it a day. But I really hope it's not the one that could have been worth $1,000, because that would be a slap in the face, because it actually has the original box. The extra cylinder is in its original box. Got, you know, some age to it, so it doesn't look like it came out in the 90s. Let me just put it that way. So that's here. I didn't pay for it. Don't know what I'm going to do with it. I might sell it. I might keep it. Then my godson's NP29 came in. To bribe my godson into getting his restricted license, it's quite simple. Get an ARPAL, I'll buy you a handgun. So he did, and son of a gun. No, I was on the hook for a gun. I mean, I love the guy, but I don't love him like Ruger love him. I love him like Norinco love him. You know what I'm saying? So just before the show,
not at all.
Basically, I mean, I didn't make him. He's not really mine. The godson thing, I'm not even religious, whatever. He's adopted anyway. He's like adopted into the family. He's as far from being related to me as possible. I can tell by Kelly's face I've crossed a line.
Yeah.
Of some kind. So anyway.
Did you buy him the handgun?
I bought him the handgun. It's right here. Look, it came in before the show. Just like last week, the Wingmaster, or 2 weeks ago, the Wingmaster came in right before the show. And then I remembered who sent it to me. And I said to Adriel, like, I'm actually afraid to open it. I better not open it on air, because God only knows what's in that box. So shout out to Chad. I'm not going to say what I paid for it, but I will say this. Chad sold me this gun for less than what a retailer would pay wholesale price for.
Wow.
Yeah, so I got a smoking deal, and it's essentially new. There's no time on it. He bought it, tried it, whatever, didn't like it, and he passed it on to me for a smoking deal. He also threw in for free an A2 front sight. Now I got one from Brian, but Brian's was already in the mail when Chad offered this one. So Brian, I might give you yours back. I might keep it. I don't know. He gave me this one for free. This one has the pins, which Brian didn't have, and it has the front sling mount, which Brian's didn't have. But Brian, yours fits on my barrel nice and snug. This one is quite loose. Should I be concerned?
Go with the snugger one.
Okay.
Yeah, just go with it. I really don't want it back, so.
Okay, cool. Now, next question, Brian. The pins are tapered.
Yes.
Does the slots in the barrel need to match the taper of the pin, or can they just be cut straight on a milling machine?
Just get the biggest hammer you've got and put those pins in.
Fair. Okay, that's one method.
I'm thinking that it's just the pins that are tapered.
Okay, so if anyone has a government profile M forgery style barrel at home with the front sight removed, can you look at the slots that those pins go in and tell me if they're tapered or straight?
They're straight.
There you go. Thank you, Jeff. All right, so we'll mill them straight. What else is going on? Quickly, bringing the show notes back up. And there's a Mark II in the mail from Jeff, so that should be here. That shipped, Jeff?
Yes, you should have it
tomorrow, probably.
Tomorrow, maybe Monday.
Maybe Monday. Okay.
How much snow you got out there?
All of it.
All of it. Okay.
All of it. It's like the snowbanks on the sidewalks after they go by to widen the roads back up and clean the sidewalks are literally a tunnel that is about 8 feet high. It's just gone and completely. It's past the point of ridiculousness. Then at the gunsmith, this is cool. I reassembled the Browning Challenger. Now this pistol belongs to Chris Kingston, a member of the gun club, my guy who got me started in IPSC, a mentor of mine, and it's cool. It's the first gun that I've worked on at the shop that I did it all myself. I disassembled it. I did all the prep work. In fairness, I wasn't there to degrease it and drop it in the bluing tank. That's the only thing I didn't do. I did all the prep work, all the finishing work, and reassembled it. So that was kind of satisfying, especially it came out really nice. On the Armory DC Gunsmith Instagram, there are before and after pictures and showing the process of what it looked like after we sandblasted it, then polished it at the different grits, and then blued it. And then now I'm working on a Kui 600, and this will probably be the same thing. I'll probably end up doing all of the work myself to that thing. That thing was rough. The wood was good, but the metal was. There's actually a piece that's pitted so bad, we have to leave it. Like there's one pit in the barrel that, I guess there's a possibility of, tack welding it and polishing out the weld, but it's not really worth it. Kitty Cat forend has been ordered because I just, cut one that I had to mock it up to see what it would look like. So this one looks more like what came on the DPS version of the Kitty Cat. And a Colt large pin upper receiver offset bushing is also in the mail. And this stuff is coming from True North Arms. And I'll throw the shout out to the president right now. I got an email after the order was shipped from Zach Martin, president of True North Arms, to tell me that we didn't ship your order as fast as we claim we're supposed to. So as a result, we're going to give you a $10 gift card for you to use on your next order. Like, come on, seriously? Yeah, so I had ordered the handguard. The handguard hadn't shipped yet. When I placed the order for the bushing, I sent them an email and said, hey, if you haven't shipped the handguard yet, do me a solid, put them in the same box, refund a portion of the shipping. So they did that to the tune of like $10. And then they turned around and gave me a $10 I got everything from the Calgary Shooting Center, and that's the only place I shop. And if you don't shop there, you're a communist. I forgot he was on the show. So next, I need a full auto bolt carrier group to complete that upper. I have the heavy buffer, so when I throw it on the lower that I have now, I'll use the heavy buffer, and that should hopefully make it cycle. Because these short 7.5-inch airs are really overgassed, and so they usually have extraction problems, right, Jeff? Because the bolt goes back too fast and it doesn't actually have time to grip the rim correctly. Is that usually what happens with the short barrel guns?
Yeah, it's just too violent.
Okay, cool. So I'm looking at the BCM because it's fairly inexpensive. I think it's under $200. So, and then the Daniel Defense lower parts kit for my SLR was ordered, and all I need now for that gun is a stock and a bolt carrier group, but both of which I will rip off my 3-gun AR for the short term because I can't shoot them both at once. So, I don't mind sharing bolt carrier groups for a little while, but eventually the bolt carrier group that's going to go into the SLR will probably be the Maple Ridge one once I see some reviews of them being out in the wild for a while. And my lead levels. So Christina went to get her blood checked to see if her lead levels were elevated, and sure enough, they were. So I was at a 97. The normal range, according to how they measure it, with the parts per deciliter, I think is the system that they use. I don't fully understand it. The doctor doesn't fully understand it. My buddy Mark, who works at a lead smelter, is like, your lead's not high. Like, it's impossible. Don't worry about it. So I haven't shot. I think I shot twice since I got those results back. I reloaded like 50 rounds once and took precaution, wore gloves, washed up, that sort of thing. So I'm going to go back and request that it be tested again. So the normal range, according to this laboratory, is 0 to 20. I was at 97.7. Christina was at 23. Why? Why is she at a 23? Why isn't she like at a 5 just from normal, environmental contamination? So I don't know where she's picking it up, if there's some kind of cross contamination from my reloading habits. But I mean, I don't know. I don't get it. So I also called to have our water checked in case there's like a source of contamination in the house, because when you buy a house, you have to have your water tested in order for the mortgage to be approved and stuff. But they don't check for lead. They check for other stuff like contamination, bacteria, things like that. But they don't check the lead levels. So we're going to get our water checked to try and. What I really want to do is find anything to account for her lead other than my hobby, because she kind of hit the roof a little bit. You're going to do this, and this, and I don't want any lead in the house. And I'm like, stop. So I'll keep you guys posted. Back to Brian.
Hi, Brian.
Hey, yeah, what did I cut out?
320 something.
Your slide release is in the wrong place, and I told you to trim your thumb.
Yes. Okay. I missed that part. No, I'm not cutting my thumb off. Thanks.
I didn't say cut it off. I said trim it. Jesus.
Okay. Sorry. I don't do anything halfway, right?
You're going to furlough Teeving the thumb trimming.
Yes. Okay. So the other interesting thing I did, I was talking with good buddy Ryan Stacy. Actually, he posted some stuff on Facebook, and I was like intrigued by his shooting journal and what he puts in it, for a practice session and that sort of thing. It's part of his mental management tools for success. So he was kind enough to share his diary entries with me. And so now I have a shooting journal that I'm going to use for every time I go to the range, every time I'm doing dry fire practice, that kind of thing. So looking at what my focus is for that practice, what I'm trying to achieve, and looking at what went well and what challenges occurred during the practice and what I did to overcome those challenges. So, okay.
Who does Ryan Stacy have a crush on in class or at the range? You got his journal, right?
Yeah. He said journal, not diary. Okay. Yes. There's a difference.
Yeah.
Journaling is part of mental management. Diary taking is for snowflakes who need safe places. Now stop it.
Hey now, careful. I know people dear to me who have a diary. Quiet. Not me, but people dear to me. Anyway, so listen.
Which way are we going? Never mind.
Anyway, well, she's short, so she might be a people. She might be human. I'm not sure. Anyway, regardless, if it's good enough for Ryan Stacy, I should probably say it's good enough for me. So
and here's the thing, Brian. If we were to ever get back to our series on mental management,
we don't have a series, but anyway, go ahead.
It was a series of episodes, was it not?
We had 2. I don't think that's a series.
Right. Well, we were always supposed to do more. Why do you got to be like that? Why you want to?
Because you told me today that if I interrupted you one more time, you were going to do something criminal.
Oh, yes. I was going to cut you, and you said I was a couple of provinces away. So I said I would mail you a knife with instructions. Anyway, Richard, if we would have continued with our series on mental management, we would have got to journaling and did what you just described to people how to keep them, which is what you said. Performance journals are huge. Just the process of what's happening in your brain, the chemicals while you're journaling, and what you can use it for after the fact.
Yeah,
champions are doing it for a reason. So you might mock mental training and journaling and stuff, but hey, more people who are winning are doing it than not. So what's that tell you? It's not like you won a race because everybody in front of you fell, right? It's like you put effort in.
A win is a win, Trev. That's all I'm saying.
Channel management.
Sometimes letting your competition take themselves out of the competition is the way to win. That's all I'm going to say. Hey, I beat you last year at a plate rack because your gun broke. It's a win for me.
Mm-hmm.
My gun broke?
The one you borrowed from Phil.
Oh, that didn't. Yeah. Those were milsurps. That didn't count. Stop. You're taking that as a win?
Anything I can, because everything is what?
Contest, but that's desperate.
All right, Brian, did you win?
Did I win?
Yeah.
The gun broke.
Yes.
Kelly. It doesn't count.
Yes. All right, move on.
The gun he picked broke. Yes, that's right. So Trevor, there may be a chance that we're going to get to talk to Ryan in the future and talk about this kind of stuff, because that's what you and I tend to geek out about when we're talking with Ryan, right?
Absolutely.
All right, I'm done.
Awesome.
Adriel, what do you got?
Let's see. Got squirrel hunting at -25 to get that squirrel that's been messing up my hunting shack, and it wasn't there. The nest was there, no squirrel, so I couldn't blast him in the face, which I'm very disappointed about. So I'll have to go blast him in the face a different day. I brought my grandma's, where is it? 1938-ish Savage 6A to my place to take some pictures of it and kind of put it online. As you can see, the finish is
patina. It's called patina.
Yeah, it's got a patina on it.
Is
that a semi?
Look at that. This is a semi. It's a semi-auto from 1938. This is an old gun. And it's kind of wild. It's got a click-clack action. So the trigger actually has a block on it. So as you pull the trigger and the action goes back, it actually holds it. So you can see there I'm holding on to the trigger. And when I let go, it loads. So as you're shooting it, it goes click, 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 click every time you pull the trigger. It's got a lock on the bolt here that you can snap in, and that kind of locks the bolt in there. So you could run shorts, longs, or long rifles in this. You just need to lock the bolt, and then once you're done, you just pop it open, cycle it, and then close it again. Turns it into bolt action.
Cool.
Oh yeah, I heard of this thing. I've seen one before.
There weren't that many of them. There were like 46,000 of these rifles. There's not really like a high production number of these things. I didn't think it was anything special, but I started talking to a guy who knows a lot about them. He's like, "There's not that many of them. There's not that many. This one's pretty old. It's got like hand cut checkering. The stock is handmade. It's hand cut checkering and crazy." Anyways, if you want to find more information on that, just Google it and you'll get my website.
$40.
$40. Yeah, it won't. $40 one might not run. This one doesn't run fantastically. They're tube fed. They've got this like toggle thing that lifts the shells in, so might not be a good runner.
All right, $35. You're talking yourself out of a sale.
Let's see here. I pre-ordered. Do you want to talk about this right now, or do you want to talk about in the news area, the WK-180C?
Well, you're
talking about it. Apparently,
you just said you pre-ordered it. Yeah, that's.
All right, let's talk about it. So Wolverine and Kodiak Defense are making a 180B rifle, non-restricted. The 180B is non-restricted in Canada. The Armalite, it's a version of the 180, which is a version of the AR-18, and those are semi-automatic, non-restricted, gas-operated, not direct impingement, like actually a piston, semi-automatic rifles. So they have a kind of like a cup and pistons set up over top. That's similar to an SVT-40, very similar to an SVT-40. The rear of the gun has these two guide rods and recoil springs that a lot of guns these days use, actually. If you look at, even if you look at like a Remington 597, it's got a similar dual guide rod, dual recoil spring kind of a setup on it. So a really cool older lockup style on it. It's also got like, because the bolt doesn't have any gas going into it, it's just uses like a shorter, I guess, BCG and bolt. Spring return. I just went through all this again because I was looking at my old video on the AR180B, and yeah, I'm pumped to get it. Anyways, Wolverine is making a version of this that looks like it's going to be slightly improved. They've got a different upper on it that uses an AR barrel, which is super key because now we can replace barrels and put something on that's longer, shorter, something that's just going to do what we need it to do a little bit better. But the one that I think that they're selling with comes with an 18.6-inch barrel. I'm trying to think of what other improvements they put on it. The original didn't come with a Picatinny rail top, like a flat top upper. They just came with this weird little like dovetail thing that you had to buy a scope mount for. So they come with that rail on top now. They have a charging handle that goes on either side. I want on the left side. It doesn't come with a bolt release, right? So you've got your right hand on the gun. You drop your mag. You're going to grab another one. You're going to pop it in, and then you're just going to reach up to that charging handle on the left-hand side, right, rip it back a little bit, and then back in action. So
yeah, if you're not going to have a bolt release, put the charging handle on the left where it belongs.
Yeah. I don't really like AKs and that kind of thing where you got to flip it on its side and hit it or go underneath. It's just awkward.
Yep.
What else they put in there? They changed out the grip. So the original AR180B, the grip was part of the gun. Now they're using just a standard AR grip. So that's nice. You can swap out the trigger for an AR trigger. And I think from the factory, they're getting them with an AR buffer tube and stock. They're mounting them a little bit higher than the Stormworks adapters on the original, again, AR180Bs. So they should be a little bit more in line with, like a little bit higher up on the back there. So you should be able to run like a normal AR scope mount on there, which is a pretty good thing to actually get because AR scope mounts are very common, and getting optics that match that height is a lot easier than getting ones that you're just trying to mess around with trying to get the right height on it. They didn't include iron sights on it. Fantastic. To heck with iron sights. Who needs them? They don't have a dust cover on it, but I don't know if I care. Actually, I know I don't. It's cold up here, but there's no dust, so what do I care? I think that's about it. Am I missing anything, guys?
I think you should probably point out, because the charging handle can be actually, I believe it can be flipped to either side of the bolt. Is that not correct? Yeah. So that means the other side of the receiver, the left-hand side, has a slot in it. So it's going to be open completely. So I don't think you couldn't have a dust cover anyway, and it would be kind of foolish because you've got slots in the receiver for the charging handle. Now, I'm curious if you can have a charging handle on each side. Like, why not make it fully ambi? Like, what the heck?
Yes, you could, but
I don't know. Like, it may mess with the bolt mass. I got no idea.
Yeah.
Adriel, are we going to talk about it again in the new gun stuff, or do you want to wrap it up now?
No, let's talk about it now. I just went through all the Oh, by the way, it's $1,000. The AR180Bs, the ones you can find in Canada, up until now, we're going for like $1,500 to $2,000. They originally sold for like $1,000. And keep in mind that AR180B was like an AR-15 that was supposed to be a little bit more inexpensive and a little bit more, piston gun reliable. So this thing is the price is excellent on $1,000, non-restricted AR180B.
Do you want to hint at the upcoming Patreon interview?
We may be interviewing some people who know more about this gun.
A lot more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, people who could be responsible for it.
Yeah.
Can we go that far?
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Intimate
but you got to be a Patreon. Right?
Yeah. Let's come up. Yeah. Anyways, so I pre-ordered one of those things. They said that they pre-ordered 300 with Kodiak. And then we're gonna buy some more. I tried to get in as soon as possible. and they just actually recently said that they pre-ordered 1,000. So they've gotten 1,000 pre-orders for this thing. So pop their gun. I think it's a price point. $1,000 for a price point like this, when you can pull the barrel out, when you can put a different trigger in. Like, it doesn't matter if the trigger comes like as a crappy mil-spec trigger. It doesn't matter. Like, I'm going to replace the trigger anyways. I'm going to put something sweet in there that's costs more, but that's what I want in a gun that I would want to shoot. I'm going to try setting up for like coyote hunting, or maybe 3-gun, and then I don't have to have a restricted 3-gun. I don't know.
SLR.
I don't know. The SLR is like more though.
Yes, yeah, but it's also more gun. But I'm going to wait. I'm not crazy about two things, and they've been explained to me, but I'm still not comfortable with them. One, they want 100% deposit down up front, and two,
they aren't taking 100 now. They're taking less. Both Wolverine
okay, well, they started off with 100,
participating. Right? Wolverine did. Some of the other participate, like I think True North Arms got on it earlier, and I think Tenda got on it early, and they had a $400 deposit or something like that.
Okay. And I know it's been explained, but I still don't like the idea it doesn't have an FRT number yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll feel better when there's an non-restricted FRT number assigned, and I'll feel better when I know about reliability, longevity, and availability of parts. And I think the warranty is 1 year, right?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think I read on CGN on John's post that the warranty was 1 year. But,
cool. Yeah. Anyways, that'll be 3 or 4 months till I get that. But I'll probably be buying like the odd knickknack for it. Like I'll need a scope, something of 4-16 with a ballistic. Yeah, I shoot coyotes at a long distance, right? It's 300 meters ish that I'm shooting them at. So I can't.
Okay.
I can't just put like a 1 to 4 or something. Well, no, I could run a 1 to 4, but
I was
not
thinking 3 to 9.
3 to 9 would work too.
Yeah, 4-16 though. You're right. I mean, you got a nice range there. Yeah.
Anyways, that's it for me. Kelly, what about you?
Okay. I went to the range on Sunday. I was an RSO. I did a probationary shoot for a new member. He is actually the president of the CFB Kingston Club, so he did well. So we just signed him off. Shot his pistol. He actually has a Glock 17 as well, but it's a Gen 3, and I shot it better than my Glock. But I think it's because of the fact that his is a little bit more worked in. He had the flare mag well on it and everything. I liked his gun. Anyways, but took him over to the rifle range as well. Yeah, he's a good shooter, so he wants us to come out onto the CFB Kingston range as well. Maybe at some point to host a Maple Seed, so we're looking at that too. He's a really nice guy. But so he's new at Frontenac, so we have to do those probationary shoots. So we signed off. I went and signed off for him. So, anyways, what else did I do? Oh, I did get out a calendar. So yeah. So if you're looking for the number, it's on the back here. For those of you who are watching, if you do not have it on the back, don't use the one that I have. Contact Tracy Wilson at info@firearmrights.ca, and she'll get you a number. Because we are doing register it, and then we are doing the draws. So we just had somebody win a $100 gas gift certificate, which was awesome because gas is so freaking expensive right now. Anyways, what else? We finalized our instructors in training this week, so we have 44 altogether now, and we're finalizing our East Coast tour. And what else are we doing? We're still looking for Manitoba and BC ranges. So the island in BC. So if you do have any ranges that are interested in hosting us for our West Coast tour, contact us at info@mapleseedrifleman.com.
All right, Kelly.
Yep.
Are you guys requiring criminal background checks to become instructors?
We're looking for it, yeah. And the reason is because we're going to...
No, the reason is Gallon. I heard Gallon's going to be an instructor. I was like, oh, well... I mean,
gotta stop that.
This is how you keep people out of your associations, right? Just it's nothing personal, Gallon. we all had to do it, you know? That's all. I'm just saying. Because there are children on the line.
It's children and women. So we want to make sure that people can work with them.
Yeah.
There are criminal women too.
Gallon should not view Mapleseed as a chance to pick up new girlfriends.
No.
Whose parents drove them there.
Yeah. That's yeah. Are we going to have to make rules? Are we going to have to make rules about that? What do you think?
Trevor rules, Gallon rules. I mean,
Yeah, there's already Gallon rules.
Yeah. All right. Hey, Jeff.
Hey.
Do you want to tell us anything exciting that you've done this week in guns? I know you've been sitting there quietly, so I just wanted to include you in.
Well, I appreciate that. About 2 weeks ago, I went to a little gun show in Vegas. That was pretty cool.
Oh, SHOT Show. Yeah.
Yeah, SHOT Show. That was pretty nice. Saw lots of guns. Did the Glock Armorers course, so we're Gen 5 certified now.
Cool.
So that was a full day.
Are your Gen 5s in yet?
Yes, I have Gen 5s. We got them first in the country.
Sweet. What a surprise.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the Glock Armorers course, and did you actually learn anything? Because you've been shooting Glock now since like 1991, and you've had a Glock for a long time, I guess, and you're a smart feller. Did you learn anything? Was there anything there that was new that... Well, I suppose Gen 5 is slightly different, isn't it?
The Gen 5 is completely different. It's
interesting.
Once you take it apart, you don't know anything until they teach you how to do it.
Wow.
I mean, it comes apart the same way in terms of taking a slide off, but the whole back end of the gun is different. The little coil spring that resets your trigger is gone. It's now like a little 3-piece assembly that they say is going to last the life of the gun. The little spring on your safety plunger, that's in the gun 3 times now, that exact same spring.
What?
Yeah. So the little leaf spring that was your takedown bar, that has a little coil spring in it.
Okay.
The spring underneath the ambi slide release has the same spring in it. And and then the spring in the rear. Actually, well, in the safety plunger is there as well. So it's there 3 times. So it's a little more fiddly. Definitely, you cannot take it apart like the old Glock. There's a lot of more little fiddly springs and parts.
Well, that's too bad, because that was one of the things I absolutely loved about the Glock. Is I literally did a detail strip of 2 Glocks blindfolded for my YouTube channel once.
Yeah, like I don't know. Maybe when you get used to it, it's maybe easy, but there's some small little parts in there that, it's going to surprise some people. I think most people are going to end up breaking the little plastic part in the trigger reset just from taking it apart wrong. So they warned us about that, to stock up on that particular part, because everyone's going to see it and go, how does this come apart? And they're going to break it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
So, yeah.
So Glock is taking a step backwards, basically?
Well, they've made the production cheaper, because they've taken out 2 springs that they don't have to make. They just keep.
Well, making production cheaper is not a step forward for us.
Yeah.
Well, it's easier to keep track of parts. You don't have to keep 3 different springs. You can just have 1.
And a bunch of spare plastic parts that are prone to break.
Did the parts count go up? There was only 32 to begin with, give or take.
There's 34, wasn't there?
I don't know. That's why I said give or take.
Yeah.
What is it now? Do you know?
I don't know. I didn't count them all, but it's different. It's a little surprising, a little scary at first, but once you get into it, they assure us the little fiddly bits are not going to break. They're going to last the life cycle of the gun, unless you try to, manhandle it when you're taking it apart.
Okay.
But it was a good course. It was really interesting. So everything was new. I mean, yeah, everything is completely new. It's going to be quite a learning curve for a lot of people, that's for sure. But the trigger pull is a lot nicer.
Really?
Yeah, that's something.
Well, I mean, that stands to reason, because they got not they sometimes manufacturers take a step back, but the Glocks have gotten better with every generation, and the Gen 4 trigger was, unless you were looking at something like a Walther or an HK, the Glock Gen 4 trigger was as good or better than any other striker-fired gun out there.
Right. So I think they've definitely made the trigger better. It's going to be a little bit of a learning curve, and it's not as scary as it looks when you first take it apart. But yeah, it was a good course. It was really well run. So there was 3 of us there from the store. So I think we have 12 armorers now. So
excellent.
That's good.
Yeah. What else was at SHOT Show? Everything was at SHOT Show. What can I say? I mean,
what was the weirdest gun or accessory that you saw?
That monster backpack?
No. What I did stop by the High Point booth.
They were actually there. We talked about this on another show.
Yeah.
And wondered whether or not High Point actually attended SHOT Show.
And they're not even just there. They're on the main floor. They're not even in the basement. They are right next to all the big players.
Well, you know what? They sell a lot of guns.
Yeah, they do.
They do.
How many did you guys order?
None. What else?
Twice as many as last year.
Cool thing Ruger had that we can't get yet is the PC carbine. I don't know if you've seen that thing with the takes to Ruger pistol mags. It's a takedown.
Yeah, but that's coming very, very soon. It seems to me. Anyway, carry on.
The problem is the barrel. It's 16.5 point.
Well, it's coming in as restricted.
Yeah, but there may be, if demand warrants it, they may do a barrel for Canada.
Right. We were talking about that. We were hoping that it'd be a little bit longer.
Nobody would confirm nor deny. So, but as a restricted gun, I don't think it has much of a market in Canada. But if it goes non-restricted, sure, why not? Cheap little, handgun blinker.
Yeah, it can't be. If it goes non-restricted, it'll be a better option than Kel-Tec Sub 2000, especially in the takedown version.
Yes, yeah, it's well made. We also saw the precision rimfire, which is
how is that?
Heavy.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
it's a heavy little 22, but I mean it's got a fully adjustable stock. It's got the handguard, all the attachment slots on it, big massive bolt handle, adjustable trigger. AR type controls for your safety. It of course it will accept the 10 round BX mag with no trouble because we can't use the normal ones anymore.
Right.
But yeah, it's we're going to get them. I mean, obviously they're great little 22. Like I say, it's really well built. As Ruger does it, they tend to overbuild it, so it's not a lightweight gun, but it does seem to be well made.
Okay.
What else did I see? RDB, Kel-Tec RDB.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this 223 bullpup.
Boo.
Right. No, come on. You have an SKS behind you. What are you booing about?
A proven battle weapon.
Oh my god.
Jeff is invited back officially, by the way. It's awesome. So what did you think of the RDB, Jeff?
It's Kel-Tec, right? I mean, it's very familiar. It's heavy. It's well made. It should be affordable for a bullpup. I mean, is it going to kill the Tavor? I don't think so, but it's definitely going to be a viable option for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it had a lot of generated a lot of interest at SHOT Show. Everybody was looking at it. They all thought it was the greatest thing ever. So.
Yeah, the trick with Kel-Tec is, are they actually going to be able to produce any to sell?
Yeah, that is supply and demand is definitely not their strong suit. So, yeah, it's we're Canada, we're a big market. I'm sure they're going to step up.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I mean, to their credit, they apparently sell everything they make because they can't seem to meet their demand. So that's good in that respect. But
yeah,
and like Jeff, to your comment of we're a big market, and I know that was tongue firmly planted in cheek, but the reality is manufacturers sell more guns to some of the smaller U.S. states than they do to all of Canada. That's how low we are on the totem pole.
I think the state of New Hampshire has a bigger gun market than Canada.
I would think so.
Yeah. But I mean, Kel-Tec's, they got quite a market in Canada. I mean, they do respond. I mean,
they do, and they make Canadian specific products.
Yeah, exactly. So they're willing to adapt to our gun laws. So
Yeah, we were getting KSGs up here when a lot of Americans were still looking for them.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah, I was in on the first 50 that came to Canada.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I hadn't been, but whatever.
Anyway, my favorite thing was the Tikka 22.
Oh, really?
That thing is just going to be a sweet little rifle.
Did you happen to find out if they were going to introduce that rifle in other rimfire calibers as well?
Well, I think right now it is just a 17 and long rifle, right? So
it is 17 and long. Good. So would you get rid of your CZ in 17 for this thing?
Well, I have a Tikka 7mm, so it would be nice to have a buddy to go with it, but
they would be buddies. You could keep them in the same case. They could be like roommates or on a younger brother, older brother kind of situation.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, the 4.55 it's a good rifle too. Don't get me wrong.
Okay, so maybe if I imply that you should get rid of the 4.55, I owe you an apology.
No, I mean you do have a sweet-looking Savage 17 next to you there. I wonder where you got that.
This one.
Yeah.
This one right here. Yeah. Yeah. So the story on this rifle, kids, Jeff knows I love this rifle. The first Gopher Apocalypse I went on with Jeff, I used this rifle. So when Jeff decided it was time to sell this rifle, this is what he did. He calls me up and says, Trevor, I put my Savage in the mail for you today. This is how much I want. Pay me later. I'm not exaggerating, am I, Jeff?
No, you're not.
He shipped it to me without telling me until it was already in the mail and just said, this is what you're going to pay me. And I went, yes, Jeff. And that's exactly what I did. He was so sure that I was going to buy the rifle. He didn't even ask. He literally mailed it to me. Yep.
And there you go. You have it.
I do, with a lovely Leupold VX3 4.5 to 14 that I traded 10mm brass for.
That's the same scope I have on my Tikka.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, speaking of 22s, the little CZ just showed up. And that's got me thinking, do I need another rifle?
Of course you do.
Of course I do.
Why are you thinking about it? Like, I don't understand. What do you mean thinking? Just
I mean, it's a 4.55. I have one, but it's.
But you don't have this one.
It's really nice. I mean, the wood is better than your average fence post. I mean, 10-round mag. It comes with a rail. Finally, they start putting rails on their guns. Like that didn't take very long, did it? Comes with a sweet little bag, sling, and we're throwing in the swivels because for some reason for free, because for some reason they thought, here's a gun, here's a sling, we're not going to tell you how to attach it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what else at SHOT Show, Jeff, was of the same kind of interest as that Tikka?
Well, I mean, it's just so much to look at. I mean, it's overwhelming. Yeah, it's my second show, but it's still, you see everything, but you see nothing, right? I mean, you walk and walk and walk, and you see all this cool stuff, but you just can't process it all. I mean, there's just too much to look at. I mean, for the Canadian market, obviously the Tikka was the big thing. Kel-Tec was the big thing. We looked at some, stuff for engraving, some laser stuff. So I mean, that's coming down the road with the UN markings. So that's a whole nother industry.
What else could make the world a safer place than putting another mark or number on a gun?
I know, absolutely. I mean, I tremble every time I walk into my gun room that they're not marked. So.
Jeff, curious, did you take a look at the Browning booth and the retro AR and AR-15 and AR-10s?
The Brownells booth?
Sorry, Brownells. My bad. I apologize.
Yep, I did. I mean, they're cool. Don't get me wrong. They look really nice. Of course, everyone's thinking that they're going to be non-restricted. I don't know how that's going to flesh out or not, but yeah, I guess we can import them. It's just a matter of how they're going to be classified in Canada. Are they presumed to be AR-10 pre-AR-15 FRT non-restricted?
Yeah, that would be something, right?
Yeah. I mean, are they going to be cheap? No.
But we could get a non-restricted AR-10 out of this.
You definitely could. Yep.
Hmm.
That was really popular, actually. There's a lot of people at the Brownells booth looking at that. So, I'm sure we'll see him in Canada sometime soon. I mean, it's only a matter of time.
Well, actually, I read on Reddit that Filthy sent me a post. Someone on Reddit said that Wolverine or Wonstalls, I think it was Wolverine, will be carrying those retro rifles that Brownells is putting out.
Yep. Yeah, I saw that too. So, has anybody else been to SHOT Show? None of you guys? No.
Nope. But I got sick anyway. I put on Facebook, enjoy your SHOT Show plague, suckers. I woke up the next day sick. I'm only getting over it today.
Because they do have Podcasters Row, so I mean, you would be with your own kind if you want to go.
Yeah, my people?
Yeah.
We don't like our people.
Yeah,
That's why we get together electronically, not in person.
You people.
You people. Big news. Our Vortex order's going in on Friday.
Nice.
We've never carried Vortex, so that is a new line for us.
Cool.
Really?
So we are going to go in 2 feet deep. We are definitely going to carry everything. So
you
look for that soon.
Fill the house with razors. Yeah,
I mean, I'm already starting to look at the scope that I'm not going to buy for this CZ that I'm not going to buy. So
the two of them aren't going to look great together.
They are
don't
not
buy them.
when I don't buy them. Exactly.
So when I'm out there in July to shoot gophers, I want to use that one. Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
And then he'll just ship it to you in the mail.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. here's a Mossberg. Here, congratulations.
Yeah. Hello, return to sender.
Yeah. Here's a 597. Enjoy.
I like my 597.
Really?
Yeah. It's got the highest maple seed score of any podcaster on this show.
Okay.
I like my 597.
Oh.
Say that again, Adriel.
You're breaking up.
Oh, I just thought it was funny that Jeff was so surprised that you like your 597.
Yeah.
Nobody likes the 5. I mean, they all have them, but does anybody really like them?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. Out of the box, it is a way better rifle than 1022, and it's less expensive. Better ergonomics, better accuracy, better magazines.
Okay, how much did you put on that thing, though? Really?
I'm not talking about what I did to mine. I said out of the box.
Out of the box.
Out of the box.
Yeah, I have one. I mean, I paid nothing for it, so I got my money's worth, I think. So.
Right. Yeah. Hey, listen, if you're tired of it, send it down.
Okay.
I got one. Do you want to buy another one?
Oh, you know what didn't arrive today in the mail? A shotgun barrel and a Beretta.
Nope, they're on the floor right here.
Okay.
It's never mind. I'm just going to be quiet. Let's leave it alone. Adriel, Vortex does make some interesting 4-16 offerings too for optics, so you might want to look there for your Coyote Getter scope.
I've heard really good things about the Gen 2. Really good things about it.
Cool.
Is he there? Okay.
Yep, he's still there.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it'll be, I don't know, 2 to 3 to 4 weeks before we see our stuff, but the order's going in tomorrow, so looking forward to that. So if you're looking for a Vortex, let me know.
Cool.
A lot to learn about them. I've never had them, so everyone's kind of looking through the website, trying to get familiar with the names and the different levels and the options. So, but
did you guys order any of the UH1s, the Hueys?
We ordered everything.
Holographic, everything. Yeah.
We just said, yeah, we like your catalog. Send that.
Times 2. Yeah.
Because we're the Calgary Shooting Center and you're not.
Yeah. Just whatever you make, sure, fine, whatever, send it.
Nice.
Yep. So yeah. What else is going on in the store? If anybody needs any Blue Force gear stuff, it's getting cleared out. So if you need a pouch or a chest rig or a whatever, yep. The only thing that's not on sale is the slings. So it's disappearing pretty quick. So we're getting down to the last of it. So if you know anybody who needs a good Blue Force gear kit, and let me know. It's dwindling. So
I think a Coyote rifle should have a Blue Force gear sling on it, Adriel, for sure.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Jeff, what about absolute absurdity? We saw some guns like one of the things that I'm hearing people say is this is the SHOT Show this year is the year of guns nobody asked for or wanted. They're coming up with stuff for the sake of coming up with it and seem to be making some ridiculous decisions. Of course, I hate everything. That's just the way I am until I don't. And then all of a sudden it's the best thing in the world because now I want one. So, you know, what did you see that you just kind of walked away scratching your head?
Oh, I don't know. I can't think off the top of my head. I mean,
you
give
came on tonight
example.
talking about SHOT Show. You maybe wanted to prepare a little bit and think of these things ahead of time.
Think about what? I mean, it's all in the past now. I've forgotten most of it.
Were you drinking at SHOT Show, Jeff?
I'm wondering, Jeff, if sending you to SHOT Show was a good investment for a Calgary Shooting Center. I seem to recall.
We got Vortex.
Yeah,
we got all the Vortex.
All the Vortex. I mean, we generally didn't. We only went to the booths that of brands that we carry or want to carry. We didn't look at every little kitchen corner. There's just so much stuff there. I mean, you can't see everything, right? I mean, we just stuck to the main line. So I'm sure there's stuff out there. Like, what have you heard like that you think is ridiculous? Maybe I've seen
the
it.
Revolution?
Yeah, we don't even need to talk about that.
No, okay. No, yeah, I stuck to mainstream stuff, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm sure there's lots of goofy stuff out there, but
fair.
I steered clear of it. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. You're not going to carry it, right?
No, you can't waste your time stopping to every little booth. So you have so much stuff to do. There's meetings all day, every day. You need an extra day just to walk around and look at stupid stuff. So
yeah, the folks from Matador said that there's two people walking around SHOT Show. The one who's got to get to their next meeting and is going from point A to point B with a list, and then the podcaster YouTuber that's just lollygagging, hoping for an interview for their channel with 500 subs.
And trying to find the next booth that's giving away beer.
Yeah.
Oh.
They have booths that give away beer?
All right, we're in, Adriel.
Come in. Give me in, coach.
Yeah, Springfield's giving away beer, Bagara barrels. Yeah, everybody.
Springfield can't give away their guns. They might as well give away beer.
Actually, they did give away guns. I didn't win one, but they did give away guns. Yeah.
Cool.
Of course, everyone knows about the knife shenanigans up here. I was talking to Buck. I was talking to Buck and KT. They're aware. As far as they know, I don't know. If somebody orders stuff, they're going to send it to them. I mean, no one said don't. People are still ordering knives, so whether they get across the border is another thing. I actually have my knife at one of the retailers for warranty work, and we'll see if it makes it back across the border.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, well, it's at Buck now, getting fixed, and let's see if I get it back.
CBSA can do some sketchy stuff, man. I had to pay duty on the value of something that was declared that was my own property that was being returned to me from a university. The sender declared its value, and they nailed me with duty.
Really?
Yeah. And I tried to appeal it and called and emailed. Oh my God, the bureaucracy. It was never anybody's job, and pass the buck, and got so I didn't pay it, and they sent me to collections, and then I finally had to pay it. The buggers.
Really?
Yep.
Crazy.
Yeah.
One of the stupid things I saw at SHOT Show was some people are trying to put bayonets on everything.
Yes. You see that ridiculous sliding spike that comes out?
Yeah, I saw that.
Dude was talking about that like that was a real thing, like that was a legitimate, viable option. You wouldn't just drop the rifle and grab your handgun. You know, the guy's got a gun and he's possibly still shooting at you. You would stop, slide this out, lock it into place, and then break out into stabbery.
Yeah. So that was pretty ridiculous. So
I don't think I've seen this. I think I got to go look for it. What were some of them?
You're saying Calgary Shooting Center has 5 on order, and they're coming in.
Yeah. Special order for Brian. Yep.
Hey now. Hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
I know you wanted 10, but 5's all we could get.
I know. Yeah, there's some sightings. I mean, I think Punisher was there. You know the Punisher?
Yep.
Yes.
He was there.
Yeah, he was there. Trump Jr. was there.
Okay.
Jerry Michalik was there.
Of course, Jerry.
Yeah, of course. Right.
Bumped into Larry Vickers.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So the Guy Fieri, celebrity chef.
Yes.
Yeah, he was there.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess he did the guns. I don't know. Yeah.
Diners, drive-ins, and guns.
Sure. Why not?
Sure. Okay.
Yep.
That's for the
Did you
morning
go
when everyone's
to-
hungover.
Did you go to media day at the range, and what did you shoot that was awesome?
We missed the bus by 10 minutes.
Holy, whose idea was it to get Jeff on for a Shot Show recap? Was this
So
my idea?
I got a question, Jeff, because they call it media day, and you're not media. So isn't it media day just for media, or is it for the dealers as well?
It's called range day. So
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, you get to go and shoot
I'm learning.
cool stuff. So yeah, but we didn't. I didn't make it. So yeah, that was a disappointment. Needs to say. But it was good. It was good the previous year.
What did you shoot last year? Any of the stuff that we're gonna get?
I saw an M249.
Yeah, we don't have those here. So.
I have this. Shot the Hudson, which I didn't.
We'll have
see
those
much.
soon.
Really, I don't know. They weren't making too much noise this year. I don't know what happened to them. To be honest with you.
Well, they're in production now. They got guns
Yeah.
out in the wild, but I actually was on a Facebook thread with them today and asking about Canadian distribution, and it's going through legal. I'm not sure what that means, but I don't know. Probably just dealing with getting an export permit or something like that. And
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah. So FRT, all that stuff. So
yeah, it'll happen someday.
yeah, I mean it was cool, no? Striker fired 1911.
So when you're talking about Hudson, Brian, I was texting Yolanda about something I saw on Instagram. Majorly distracted.
Distracted? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Shocker! Surprise! Caught me surprised. No, Hudson, right?
Yes.
Okay, so
it's interesting to watch you have the stroke.
So I know a dealer who has approached Hudson very seriously 2 years in a row to try and secure distribution, of course, exclusive distribution if at all possible. And the answer has been the same both times. We have to meet the demands, the commitments of the domestic market first. And so they've been selling guns now for 2 years, and they're still not ready to look outside of the United States because the demand for that pistol is still so high.
Well, no, they just started shipping them this fall.
They didn't ship them.
No.
Oh, you're right. They didn't.
No, just this. Yeah. So like October, November, I think.
Yep. No, you're right. We just started seeing people shooting that thing on YouTube. So, which is why curious as to what's going to happen with the whole Iran guns thing. If some American companies that are waiting on guns are all of a sudden going to be annoyed that Canadians are getting them before them. But if Iran Guns is a dealer, once they have the guns, they can do.
Well, that's it. Yeah, they're buying them in the States. They're buying them with their American. Right. So they are an American dealer. So it'll work out. And I'm okay with letting the American gun buyer be the beta testers for these.
Yep.
They've already come out with a second model, which has an aluminum frame instead of steel, so it makes a big difference on weight. Now, for our use, for civilian recreational competitive use, I don't think that is that big a deal. Certainly, if you're going to carry it, you'd like it to be lighter. So, anyway, we'll see where they go. I'm curious.
What are you guys' thoughts on the 19X?
I hate it. I think it's dumb. I think you know what they did?
It should have been the other way around, right?
Yeah, exactly. And they will. It's like they gave us the single stack 380 when we all wanted a single stack 9. So they're like, you know what? Here, it's close enough. You're all going to buy it anyway because you're a bunch of Glock fanboys and fangirls. And sure enough, everybody bought it. And then the next year they brought out the single stack 9mm. So this year they bring out the 19X, long grip, short frame, has its place, not in carry world. Next year, they'll give us the Glock 18, quote unquote, as Paul Carlson would say, 17 slide, 19 grip, longer sight radius, shorter grip, less printing.
So they're following the Apple model.
Exactly, following the Apple model. If they could find a way to slow down the early gens of Glocks, they would.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay. Remember, they designed this gun to meet the requirements of the U.S. Army MHS.
Who didn't want it?
Who didn't select it, but that was the criteria, that barrel length with a full length grip. So they just said, oh, we've already made this investment, let's sell it, because otherwise it's a complete loss leader. So they're basically trying to recoup their investment in R&D for that pistol. They've got the tooling, off they go. And I understand, like, there's shooters in the US who are pretty excited about it, not for carry, but guys who want to run comps and dots on the top, they're really excited about having the shorter slide and the full size grip frame. So cool. It is what it is. It's not going to be for everybody, but it doesn't, fine.
I mean, it's a cool gun. I play with it. It looks nice. It's a Glock. I mean, it's not that much different, but yeah, I thought they would have went the other direction with the shorter frame and longer slide, because you can stick a lot of barrel in your pants, but not so much slide, not so much grip.
Oh yeah, it's not a concealed carry pistol, but they also sell a 34 and a 35, not concealed carry pistols.
Nope. Fair.
No.
All right.
I think that's I think that's all I had for SHOT Show, because well, we'll see what happens next year. But it was really busy. This year was just nuts, meetings just all the time, go. So, and there's parties every night. So I mean, what can you do? I mean, my God.
Did you go to the Canadian party? Of course.
Yeah, up in the Stratosphere, the tower thing. Yeah, that was cool. Went to Blue Force Gear party, Glock party, Blaser party. I think that was it.
Which party was the best party?
I mean, in terms of sheer awesomeness, I mean, the Glock party is just huge, right? I mean, it's thousands of people and live entertainment, music, and just great food. So, yeah, it's a spectacle for sure. And didn't win anything either there. So
now, anybody with a ticket to SHOT Show get in, or do you have to get invited to specific manufacturers' parties?
You have to be invited through your Glock distributor representative. Yeah. So you get this.
So you
get this plexiglass thing that lights up, and it's got your name, your number on it. So it's pretty. Yeah, not everybody can go, but it's. I think about 1,500 people managed to find an invitation somewhere. So it's definitely a cool party. That's for sure.
Okay. So if we go next year, we'll just make sure that we see you, and we'll all go together, right?
Well, yeah, you guys are going to be in podcasting row, so you and the Secret Squirrel Project.
Yeah, I will totally walk around saying, "Don't you know who I am?" And then I'll call myself Andrew Craig.
Oh,
okay.
You talk about that, Trevor, but I actually found out that my name got dropped at SHOT. And it was in a positive way.
Really?
No.
There's people, yeah.
And somebody knew who you were?
Well, remember, not everyone people who go to SHOT, some of them are from like our area, right?
Right.
It's not like I'm really famous, just people who know me from here were there. That's really what happened. But
okay.
I like it better than my name got dropped. I can't really say it. I'm just saying my name got dropped in a positive way. Not by Jeff.
Right.
No.
Jeff didn't know.
No. I tried, and they were like, yeah, no.
No, I don't blame you. No. You didn't think about me all week, I hope. You had better stuff to do.
Only
absolutely.
At night. All right.
Oh, awkward.
When the moon is right.
Oh.
And we're getting to the point in the show where it's getting awkward, so that means we have to move on, doesn't it?
Never a point when it's not awkward. This is Slamfire.
One thing that's same as last year, everyone's making a suppressor. My God, it's just everyone's got one.
Except
It's
for us.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah.
It's suppressors are on everything, and everyone's making one. So
Okay.
Nice.
it's yeah. I mean, it's cool to see, but yay, can't get one.
Exactly.
Maybe we could get a nice shroud or something like that, like a practice suppressor,
Yeah.
just in case they get legal here.
I think I saw a suppressor on a revolver. I can't be sure though.
That makes total sense.
That's just they're suffering from too much freedom.
Too much America. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Cool.
All right. Well, let's. Thank you for telling us all about SHOT Show, and maybe next year we'll have you on again, and we can talk more about SHOT Show.
Yes, hopefully I'll have more time to actually look around and find the stupid stuff to bring back. So.
All right.
I think we should get Jeff next year. We should get Jeff on like right afterwards, so he doesn't forget everything before he comes on.
Yeah. Of course, the swag is tremendous. So much stuff.
Did you actually mail yourself the swag, or did you carry it back with you on the plane?
No, I carried it back with me.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I know people who mailed it to themselves because there was so much.
I love when Jeff brings home swag, because when I was at the Nationals this summer, I stayed at his house, and every morning was like Easter morning. I was finding things, like little SHOT Show swag things laid out in my room. When I would come home, I'd find something stuffed in my range bag. It was every day was Easter. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
And of course, coffee and bacon.
Yeah.
Okay, now Trevor, did you say that you came home and found stuff in your room, or you woke up and found stuff in your room? Because one is kind of funny, the other's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
He came, he saw, he plugged.
oh, awkward.
So let's wrap this up.
Yeah.
We're good. All right.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on again, Jeff. And yeah, as I said, we'll have you on again next year.
Yeah, I have to go because we got 60 inches of snow today, so it's going to be nuts getting home.
All right. Have fun with that, eh? Drive safely.
Okay. I know it's not hanging up on Brian, it's hanging up on everybody, but I'm going to say this is for Brian.
Okay.
Bye.
But you said bye, so it wasn't really hanging up.
Yeah, we said bye. He did.
Not how that works. No,
exactly.
Just hang up now. Okay.
All right.
All right.
I didn't think the hang up game was hard, Trevor, but I can't find people who know how to play it.
Nope.
Oh well.
All right.
You can't even telephone right.
Are we ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. Why don't we talk about upcoming events and breeze through this, because it's been a little long because we've actually had 2 guests on. So upcoming events, do you want to talk about the 8th annual Podcasters Charity Shoot there, Trevor?
Yes, please. Okay. I am going to I don't know if I want to announce the charity or not, but I will say this.
Okay.
It is not going to be anything to do with ALS, because ALS blew us off and don't want anything to do with
guns.
Well, they didn't name guns specifically. They tried to be politically correct and take the high road. So they threw a whole bunch of people under the bus. Religion, politics,
guns.
Not protesters. What did they call us? They didn't call us advocates. Anyway, I fully intend to read their email in the show when we have more time.
Okay.
Muffin is pissed. He's like, this needs to go public. Anyway, just want to clarify a couple of things. All right. It's a 3-day event. It's going to be from July 5th to July 7th. It will be at the Rescuers Gun Club. Pre-registration is not required for the actual charity shoot, so stop asking.
Right.
Day 1, July 5th, is a Furlacci handgun fundamentals class. There are 15 spots with only 2 left. Price is $100. All proceeds go into this year's charity. Start time is 9 a.m. You need 250 rounds, a holster, 3 magazines. Mag pouches would really help. Now, for this event, pre-registration is required. Email us to register at slamfireradio@gmail.com. Day 2, July 6th, will be a maple seed shoot. Pre-registration is required. This will be handled specifically through Maple Seed, not through the show, not through the Rescuers Gun Club.
Right.
Donald, Brad, stop asking. You're not going to get in if you keep asking. You're on my last nerve. Registration for that is really early. I'm just kidding, Donald and Brad, by the way. Registration is 7:30 a.m. Round count is approximately 300 rounds. $50 for adults, $30 for LEO, $15 for youth. Again, registration will go directly through the Mapleseed website. When it opens, we will post links all over the universe for you to find. Day 3, July 7th, that is the actual charity shoot. Registration is at 9 a.m. Cost is $25. There are 4 events: a mini steel challenge, which is done with a pistol 9mm and above, or a 22 pistol, or a 22 rifle. If you don't have a holster, you can start off of a barrel. Just because you've never drawn from a holster before, don't let that stop you. You can still take part in this in a safe way. There's only 4 stages. It's going to go quick. And if you don't take part in the steel challenge, you're going to be standing around waiting. And no one likes to wait at a charity shoot. They like to shoot at a charity shoot. So at least take a 22 rifle and give that a try. Second event will be the 22 Silhouette. It's gallery style. It's 18 meters. It's rimfire only. It's 22 long rifle only. Third event is around a trap. You'll do the trap and the Silhouette at the same time. And then for the rest of the day, the rifle range will be open for a just help yourself, try each other's gun kind of thing, free shoot. And the range where we had the 22 Silhouette will be open for handguns, and we'll set up a bunch of X-Metal steel targets for you to shoot on. And we'll stay there until we decide we've had enough and we want to, leave the range and go do whatever it is we're going to do, which will probably involve copious amounts of alcohol. What else? Smoke in the water, we'll do the barbecue.
Yay.
If you're looking for hotel information, ask us on Facebook or email us, whatever. We can skip the next 2 events this week.
All right.
Actually, no.
Okay.
I want to plug the Furlachi handgun fundamentals class. Nobody's registering. So I know normally what we would do is we would ask you to register and then ask you to pay in about January so we could book our flights. And I think we got like 3 people registered. So there's 2 days, Saturday, fundamentals, Sunday, beyond fundamentals, and there's lots of space. And here's the thing. If we don't get the class sold out, we won't get Matthew and I out there. So, well, actually, I'm already going to be there. So, and I don't want to teach this without Matthew. I'll just go shoot gophers with Adriel because it's Furlachi.
Could this be so? Prairie Fire is that weekend too. Could that actually have impacted it? Do you think?
Yep, I would imagine. But we get about half the people that we get, Kelly, don't shoot IPSC or 3-gun or anything.
Okay.
They just have a handgun and want to improve their skills. So it's going to affect us somewhat, no question. It's not helping, that's for sure. And hey, if you guys don't sell out the class and Matthew can't go, well, guess what, Adriel? I'm going to Prairie Fire with you.
Not a bad option.
I think that's a great option. Yeah. So, can I ask you, when are you going to know whether you're going to actually have the Furlachi
really.
then?
Like
you have to have you have to have a date where you're cut off, right?
I think April is realistic. By the end of April, if we don't have the classes, at least 80% full, we're probably not going to be able to make it.
Okay.
So
have you bought tickets already you haven't bought tickets yet?
I'm going. And okay. Matthew has not, but I'm on my way to Vancouver. So I'm just stopping in Edmonton to teach a class and jump on a train and take the train through the Rockies.
Okay.
So yeah,
and shoot some gophers in the face.
All right.
That sounds like a nice trip.
Yeah. Okay.
And listen, folks, they now have another option. They could go to Prairie Fire. So Trevor's wheels are already turning. So.
Yes.
Okay, so let's move on to the news. Who put the first link in?
That was me. Trevor, I got some spare guns. I could fully outfit you with 3-gun stuff.
Yeah. I could also, I'll have my SLR by then. I'll just mail that out and have you play with it and then mail it back if you don't have your own.
I've got 2 ARs and I'm going to have that 180 by then too. Anyways.
That's cool.
This one affects me. Here in Alberta, we're not allowed to kill animals with spears or other stuff anyways. So no rear naked chokes on a bear to off it. That's not allowed in Alberta anymore. We got to use a gun or a bow and arrow or something that's not fun. So yeah. So this is in relation to, there was a video of a guy who went spear hunting bear in Alberta. He got his bear. His bear did not suffer. It died right away. And the existing NDP government didn't think that was cool and has since banned them. So no more spearing animal for us. That's it. I didn't really want to talk too much about this one. Just it's there. And then the other one here.
Yep.
this isn't news. I just found it interesting. How much do you think a PMAG is in New Zealand? Just a regular 30 round.
New Zealand?
30 round Magpul PMAG.
Yep.
50 bucks.
80 bucks.
How about? Do you want me to actually guess or read what's on here?
Well, you've already seen it on there.
I've already seen it.
Not really. If you don't guess right,
bit.
you're not doing it right. Now.
Yeah.
It should be about $50. But
Well,
it's
I mean,
I'm not even looking. Was I right?
What?
150
No,
bucks.
What?
Yeah.
it's 150 bucks, and it's you save $100 off it. It's $250.
Oh my god! Now, but
Ridiculous.
is it full cap?
I'm pretty sure
No.
it is.
Oh, just hold on a second.
I'm pretty sure it is. They're saying like magazine capacity 10 rounds, perfect for hunting.
Yes.
20 round, perfect for pro, and
Yes.
30 round, the standard capacity for AR-15.
And
40
round.
perfect for
Perfect
competition. So
Yeah, it is. Anyways, $250.
Now you have to fit that
save
to
$100.
yeah, you have to fit that to a category A semi-automatic rifle. So I don't know what kind of extra red tape comes around that. But if you're from New Zealand and you're listening and you're yelling at us right now, send us an email and maybe we'll talk to you about New Zealand's gun laws. Maybe.
Well, you know who can do that? Jason Philp lived there for a few years, so he can come on and talk about New Zealand. We got a guy,
or get us in touch with like someone who's like there and who's like really into guns and really knows the laws down there.
Yeah, because Philp is not into guns.
Okay,
Was he when he was down there? Like if I went and lived somewhere for 2 years, I would not know everything there was to know about their guns down there.
Okay, you just don't want to have Philp on the show. I get it. That's fine.
That's true. Yes.
I like Philp. All right.
I find the warning interesting. Purchase of this product or for fitting to such and such category semi-automatic rifle is an offense. So if you fit the magazine to a rifle you're not allowed to fit it to, that's the offense. But just having the magazine is okay.
It's not. Right.
That seems less dumb than our 5-round limits on stuff.
It does. It's like I can have a full auto trigger group and bolt carrier group, and that's okay, but I should never put them in a gun.
Okay.
Yeah. Or you could have like in Canada, there's numerous guns that use PMags that are not semi-automatic. So why are they subject to the same magazine capacity things?
Oh, my head hurts.
Yes.
Yeah.
This dumb rule is slightly less dumb than Canada's rules.
Just slightly.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Why don't we go on to new gun stuff? The FN.
So FN's working with iRun Guns. They're going to try to bring some new stuff into market. They're working on the SCAR 17 and the 249 SNR, which I guess is a semi-auto 249.
Yeah.
That would be a neat toy for someone who's not me because I couldn't afford to buy one of those things. But the SCAR 17 would be really cool. Aren't those like really expensive though? $3,000, $2,000?
Hard to say. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Sure.
They're probably spendy. So
cool. Well, I mean, more choice is better.
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, and actually, what we were talking about, Trevor and I were talking this week about the 180s coming in and being sold at a pretty low price point for a non-restricted semi-automatic rifle in Canada, and we're hoping that's going to have a net positive impact on the whole pricing scheme for said standard type of rifle, right?
Scheme, because it's a scheme.
Yeah, that would be nice because it would be nice to get pricing that's more in line with where it should be.
Well, yeah. Did Alberta Tactical already drop? I thought I read that it dropped already on the Modern Environment.
XCR dropped when the BCL came in.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm not sure I'm not sure what the premium is on some of those different guns and what the like real price should be.
Question.
But it would be interesting to see like what other pricing changes based off of this stuff coming out.
You brought up BCL, so chatting with listener Cody on Facebook quite a bit, and he was talking about purchasing the BCL 102 upper and lower, and he told me that the BCL, like the SLR, is compatible with AR-10 parts. So I can buy any AR-10 barrel, any AR-10 bolt carrier group, buffer, tube, stock, all that's going to plug and play on the BCL 102, just like AR-15 parts work on a SLR. Can somebody confirm that?
Well, yeah. I mean, there's a couple different AR-10 specs. I'm not sure which one they're following.
That's the thing. There is no mil spec. So even if you buy AR-10 parts, you got to be careful.
Yeah. I don't know. It's coming out anyways. All right,
So
let's keep going.
You can't confirm that. All right.
All right. So why don't we actually talk about listener feedback? Adriel, why don't you read the one from Charlie, because it's really long. We can discuss
it. A long one last time. Oh, I'll just take it.
That's what.
Yeah,
she
Charlie.
said.
Charlie was just asking about the Firearms Outlet Canada. They've got 50 Beowulf mags in stock again, so they've got some of the Elander ones.
Right. And he was asking if they were.
Well, here we were last week. I was telling everybody how I pinned my Beowulf mags because a little birdie who told me the Hex mag was going to be prohib also said that they're going ahead full force with charging anyone who they happen to stop and catch with one. And yet here is Firearms Outlet Canada selling them. So Matthew and I got talking and we were like, maybe they had them and they decided to pin them to 5 rounds of 5.56 and they're selling them. They were Beowulf, but they're pinned to 5 rounds of 5.56. I was like, that would be greasy, but possible. So I'm going to call and ask. I don't remember the gentleman's name, but he was really chill and really nice. And so I was like, what's the story? Are they pinned to 5 rounds of Beowulf? And he said, yeah. So, okay, well, I thought, there were some issues with them right now in the RCMP. And he said the same thing that we're reading everywhere and we're saying ourselves. The law has not changed. The RCMP has published an opinion again. And as far as they're concerned, the laws have not changed. And for a while, what was happening was CBSA was not letting them come into the country. You knew this, Adriel. We talked about this before.
Yep.
They placed an order. CBSA let them in, so they're selling them. And at $75 a piece, according to the guy I spoke to on the phone, they're going fast. Which, if I was selling something, I would say was going fast as well.
Right.
So they're legit Beowulf mags. They're for sale. They made it in the country.
Might as well. Go for it.
Well, I'm going to maintain my wait and see and stick with LAR for now.
Okay. So, Trevor, why don't you read this one from Justin?
Because my show notes aren't open and I'm reading the comments from the Facebook or YouTube.
All right. So it says, this is from Justin. It says, hello, Slimefire. First of all, a big thank you for reading out my long-winded email on episode 241. It answered a few questions, and I will wait to hear the final verdict on the Norinco NP29 project. Trevor, you give some fairly practical advice, and I appreciate the response. After listening to Adam from Atlas Gunworks on episode 241, I was very intrigued at many of the things that he was saying. So much so that I was looking at the company website, Facebook page, and some of his uploaded YouTube videos explaining some of the things about troubleshooting equipment. For example, MIGs, recoil springs, etc. With Adam being so forthcoming, I now have a better understanding of what makes Atlas 1911s and 2011s run so well. The attention to quality parts, but more so about how well it was put together, is very helpful to those trying to understand what makes a good gun compared to a great one. Just hold on a second. It's really long and I have to scroll down. I hope Trevor's gunsmith, Denis, will be willing to be the Canadian distributor, as I'm sure that those in the know, i.e. IPSC crowd, will want one of these. Turnaround time seems to be pretty really good as well, with 2 months versus 6 or more, depending on which company you're purchasing it from. If something like this happens, where there is an official distributor for Canada, I think that's supposed to be, it would be great. It would be on it like, I would be on it like a fat kid on a cheeseburger. Okay.
I've been that kid.
Me too. All in all, a very helpful, insightful interview with Adam. I hope that you have a chance to get him on again and pick his brain a little more. You guys do a great service to the firearms community with the podcast, and I look forward to listening each week. Cheers and keep up the great work. Justin W. from BC.
So a couple of comments on Justin's email. I did actually forward his email off to Adam because it was such a wonderful email. I thought Adam would like to hear it. And so Adam knows that people actually listen, so we can get it back on. And as far as the Denis having a conversation with Adam, things are in the works. Let me just say that. Conversations have occurred and are going to continue to occur. And I'm a little excited. That's all I got for now, though.
Okay. All right.
Cool. The Elander Beowulf mags are sold out now.
Okay.
So they weren't lying about the
He
they're going
wasn't
fast
kidding.
part.
They're going fast.
You want them?
Well,
Buy them.
Yeah.
The same Alexander Arms all metal Beowulf mag used to be on pre-order at $250 a pop. Remember?
Oh, way back when they were.
And I think that's
hard to
when
get in.
That's when Owen and Matthew went, you know what? I've got an idea.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at this point, if they're going to start making them again, they'd probably, be able to sell them for $50 pretty quick.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah. So if you'd like to send us an email, send an email to slamfireradio@gmail.com and we'll read it here. iTunes, we do not have any iTunes, but we did get another bean. Podbean. We stop calling it Bean Pod. I don't know. Anyways, it was a really short one. It says, great show as usual. And that's from Ray Johnson. So thank you, Ray. That's it. All right. Shoutouts. What do we got? Trevor?
Did it already.
Oh, okay. Adriel? Nope. Brian, what do you got?
I want to give a shout out to Andrew Vincent of the Canadian Patriot Podcast and his lovely wife Victoria on the birth of their son Lincoln Tiberius.
Very nice.
That's a wicked name. Good
Isn't that
for him.
awesome? Yeah,
that is awesome.
I'm sure it was Victoria's idea.
Yeah, yeah. All right.
Yeah, no,
Tiberius. Somebody's a big Star Trek fan in that house.
Just,
James Tiberius Kirk.
There you go.
Yeah,
Andrew was actually talking about where the original name was actually a Roman general or something. So
yes, it was. Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. Well, congratulations. They posted pictures and he's really cute. So okay.
Baby. Yeah. Not so much Andrew. Yeah. But the baby. Very cute.
Future helicopter pilot.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to give a shout out to Mike Russo. Thanks for supporting Slamfire Radio and being on the live podcast and chatting with us so much, but also for Maple Seed as well. He just got his membership. So I just want to say thank you for that.
Cool.
Yeah. Patreonies, we have an episode that is coming up next week. So we already hinted at that. So listen next week. It'll be special just for you. Right now we're sitting at 83 Patreonies. So Captain Andy is on board for $4.51 as well.
Did you guys figure that one out?
$4.51?
Yeah.
The caliber? No, what is it?
It's not a caliber.
Oh, what is it?
You're close. Anybody? No?
No.
Maybe if you were into casting. It's the size of a .45 bullet.
Oh. Okay.
Wow, I think he was expecting a better reaction. It's pretty clever on his part. You guys took the wind right out of his spinnaker.
Okay. Sure. All right. It's the size of casting for 45. Awesome. Excellent. Thank you. Thanks for supporting us. And what else do we got here? I lost my show notes. We also got Bob W for $3.57. I know what caliber that is. And Andrew R, $4.09. So thank you.
$4.09. So what's $4.09?
Beach Boys fan.
Yeah.
What?
Gun show, not a boy band show.
Hey now. Anyway,
What is 409?
tell us, Trevor.
I don't know. I knew the 451, but
maybe
it's not a 40 cal. That's 401.
Yep, it's 409. I went back and double checked.
No idea.
He's gonna have to tell us, and he can do it through Podbean because that's where he talks to us, or on live. Let's see if he's actually. Just hold on a second. Nope, he's not on. All right.
Or an email, or on Facebook. There's all kinds of ways to get in touch with.
I'm Facebooking Captain Andy right now, who's drunk at a party. He's not impressed with you guys.
You should have lower expectations, really.
Like 45 is such an old cartridge that just like shouldn't be around anymore. Like I don't even know what the point is.
It's
reloading
an old cartridge for old men. Is that what you're saying? Are you calling Captain Andy old? Because then you're calling Stephen Casey old, and
it's
I don't
fat
recommend.
And slow and old.
Well, Captain Andy's been called that too. Oh, I just really went way too far. Let's end the show.
Yeah.
No, we like you digging down. You haven't started digging up yet.
We're gonna have 82 Patreonies next week when Captain Andy removes his support for us. But for everybody else, thanks for supporting us. And Trevor, we're going to actually just put a gag in his mouth as we go through the rest of the show. Sorry.
Don't threaten me with a good time. What you do need is you need a Don Cherry 7-second delay on this thing. That's what you need.
Yeah, we do actually. Okay. We're going to sign off now. So everyone, please go and join your National Firearms Association like the CCFR. You can go and support Tracy and Rod and everybody. Go and, watch Wild TV when it comes out in October. And it's really important for you to actually support those firearm advocacy groups because the reality is they're supporting us. So get off your butts and go join one. Go out and shoot some IPSC, maybe some 3-gun, prairie fire, or actually for Latchy course so that Trevor can get out there. And
Matthew, I'm already going out there.
Okay, fine, Matthew.
Trust me, they want to see him more than me.
All right. And if you so anyways, go and check us out on Gun Owners Canada. We do actually talk to you over there as well, so send us a message. We'll chat with you. And on Facebook, we are actually at 1,834 likes. I checked today, so that's pretty good too. So yeah, it's been a long show. Anybody got anything they want to sign off with? Words of wisdom. Trevor.
It's been a long show. Good night.
Good night.
Yes, it has. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Thanks to everyone on the live chat. You guys are awesome. Thanks for showing up and watching every week, because if you don't, it's kind of pointless to just do it. I mean, we could record it and post it on Facebook or YouTube later. We do it live because you guys actually show up to watch. So, and it's the only good idea worth stealing from Canadian Patriot Podcast. So other than, that's about it. Is there anybody I didn't piss off yet, guys? Did I miss anybody?
I'm not angry at you yet.
How do I hang up?
Oh, just like that. It worked.
Yeah, it's still not quite the style.
Hey, Billy.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
All right.
Are we done?
It's awkward, so yeah, we are.
Totally awkward.